Helen Yee here on the week of UFC 216 here, being joined by number 2 lightweight contender fighting for the interim belt. But I feel like we've kind of been in this spot before back in March when you were slated to fight Khabib. But how good does it feel to be back this week and possibly finally be able to have this fight with Kevin Lee?
The last time that I was here, I beat my opponent without fighting. The art of fighting without fighting is beautiful. Mental warfare is such a crazy thing. This opponent that I'm facing at UFC 216 has nothing on me. This guy's in trouble.
Now, he has made quite a few statements to the media, and most recently saying that, hey, after he's going to fight Conor on his terms. With that being said, do you think that maybe he's possibly overlooking you?
Obviously, he's looking past me, not through me. It's one of my quotes that I say. When we reflect back to the wrestling tournament brackets, you don't look at the number 1 guy. You don't look where they're from. You look exactly at the opponent that's at hand. And this is my mat. This dude's just trying to play on it.
Yeah, and he has stopped his past 3 opponents. What do you think of him and how he matches up against you stylistically, though?
I don't even think he's that great on the mic, but he does a lot of talking. What he does is just he marketed himself the way I told him to. I told him he needs to get more fights. He needs to get a little bit more bloody. We're going to take care of that real quick.
And like I said, you were supposed to fight back in March, but with all this time off, and I see your Instagram, you're training nonstop. Do you think in a way it's like beneficial for you to kind of, just train during this whole period?
I train, but I also do my active rest. But my active rest is climbing up mountains with 50-pound packs and doing all that crazy stuff up there. I'm having fun. I'm enjoying myself. We're playing pool. We're doing foosball. And, the place where we were at, it seems kind of lame to a lot of people, but it's the kind of thing that I needed to take because nobody wanted to go up the mountain and interview me. So that's perfect. I told anybody ever wanted to go and interview me, they had to go up and go to the mountain. They had to escalate probably like 8,800 feet with me and carry my pack. So they didn't want to do that. It's perfect. I wanted to get away from the media. It's a perfect opportunity for myself, and I have to thank my wife for that. She was the one that recommended it. She said, I need you to kick this dude's ass.
And last time we spoke, like I said, back in March, that was before the Mayweather-McGregor fight took place. Now, it finally happened. Do you think that Conor will be back to, defend his lightweight title, or do you think that he does want that trilogy fight with Nate?
I don't know, but I have his attention now. For the last couple of years, he hasn't ever mentioned my name. That's plain fear. I get it. I haunt his dreams. I'm sure he's thinking of me too. Same thing when I saw him at the Mayweather thing. He's going to see me in the future. I told everybody that I'm going to pick off everybody. In all sense and reality, it's happening. Don't call me a liar. He's next if he's next. But right now, the task at hand is Kevin Lee. And this guy's got a problem. His name's Tony.
And what did you think of Conor's fight, though, with Floyd? Were you impressed at all that he went 10 rounds?
Absolutely not. Mayweather actually made him go 10 rounds. If you know anything about boxing, Conor had some good points and he went around the block, but Mayweather didn't fight Mayweather's fight. If Mayweather fought Mayweather's fight, he wouldn't have got touched. The object of what he did was he put a lot of pressure on him. He took a lot of different kinds of shots to which he wasn't able to. For him to go out like a 50-0 kind of a fight, it's exactly what I thought he was going to do. He's going to put a lot of pressure, make him want to throw, and honestly, I think Conor would have got fucked up and got hurt. He would have left with a concussion if the ref would have let it go on.
And Nate has still been inactive. What do you think of kind of what's happening with him, or him possibly trying to hold out for the trilogy fight?
I think he's got a lot on his plate. He's worried about some other things. I don't have to reflect on what he's got. But, that's his business. For me, that's not mine. He's in top 10. He's not in top 5.
And also kind of, looking ahead at this weekend against Kevin, and also something he said to the media, like before his fight against Chiesa, he made a comment about his mom, and now it looks like he's doing it to you, saying that your mom is going to cry after this fight. What do you make of that statement?
Sticks and stones. My mom knows I'm going to beat this dude's ass. Really, ultimately, the same thing what happened with Verdum. People talk and they do all these things, but there's so much in this world to worry about other than the fighting. We're here in Las Vegas. We're here competing at UFC 216. It's amazing that this fight is actually still going on. The things that just happened this entire week, I had the opportunity to not be there. My wife was at church and across the street, and my son was with them, and my suegros were right there too. They were going to go to the fair. They were going to go right there, and it was a shitty feeling to be able to hear my brother-in-law, hear from dispatch that, hey, we heard all these shootings, we heard everything that was going on. So immediately, the fight didn't matter. This stuff, the animosity and everything that everybody was saying doesn't fucking matter. There's so much. There's hurricanes. There's earthquakes. There's so much in the world that's going on right now. The last thing I'm worried about is some dude talking shit about my mom. You kidding me? Go ahead, talk all the shit that you want, man. It's not going to save you. But like I said, this is a little bit different. I'm not bringing animosity into this fight. I'm going to look at him like a brother in arms. We come from the same university. I know how to beat him mentally. I was a captain of a 2-time national championship team where he comes from, and he was never that good. We never wrestled. We never placed foot on the same mat. So he's full of shit. If he has to make up lies to go in there, hey, you have to market yourself somewhere. But he's the only one that signed on the dotted line and had the balls to come and face me.
And do you see this fight going the distance?
If he pisses me off. It's the same thing what happened with Josh Thompson. Now my coach, Billy, he does this thing, he knows the haka, and he's taught me the haka. But for me, when you lay down your fern like Josh Thompson, I laid down my fern and he stepped over my fern in disrespect. You don't do that. If you do, you're going to get the full-fledged 5 rounds. Now, depending on what he says today or how he acts today, like I said, he's a brother in arms, but I'm hungry, and he's trying to take food from my kid's plate.
And also, you've mentioned before you share the same management as Conor. So would they kind of allow that fight to happen if you're successful this weekend? Conor does defend his belt, or do you think it'll be harder to make happen because of that?
Honestly, I don't give 2 fucks. I mean, my management knows where I stand with that. When we first signed on the agreement, when he signed in there, Conor and I, when you take a picture with somebody, they point, right? When somebody's cooler than the other, but when somebody's a game opponent, you throw up your dukes. When I said to them, I was like, look, we're going to have problems if he comes up to 155 pounds. My management knows exactly where I stand. I love the guys. Sometimes I don't like them. But it's not up to them. If he's going to have the belt, he's going to have to defend or vacate. That's what I see. So if he's next in line, that's cool. But the task at hand is Kevin Lee.